Check out this charming fellow who thinks it's cool to make fun around the topics of animal abuse and suffering.
Our top story today. Are animals getting offended?
Don't be stupid. They're just being executed in their trillions to feed dumb who still, in 2021, think that we need to eat meat for protein, dairy for calcium, and fish for omega-3.
Peta caused massive controversy across the internet this week as they called on people to stop using speciesist terms as insults, such as calling people a chicken, a rat, a snake, a pig, or a sloth. As Peta says, these terms are offensive to animals and oppresses them.
Show me where in this message it says animals are offended. It's not that the words in and of themselves are making animals oppressed. What they're very obviously trying to say is that this type of language helps perpetuate the myth that morally animals are lesser and undeserving of kindness and compassion. But then, of course, you knew that, didn't you? I will concede that likely, in my opinion, Peta are jumping the gun a bit, focusing on this when most of mankind is so asleep, opening themselves up to ridicule. But that ridicule will only come from those that value a fleeting taste sensation over the very life of another, so who gives a f*** what they think anyway?
Amongst other scholarly perspectives, Peta tweeted, "Calling someone an animal as an insult reinforces the myth that humans are superior to animals and justified in violating them."
Yes, humans violate other animals in many ways, with acts that, if done on each other, we would refer to as false imprisonment, slave labor, rape, murder, and infanticide. And you seek to make fun of this heinous barbary.
This is real?
That's what I said.
I miss 2020.
Don't worry, there'll be more pandemics to come thanks to people like you demanding flesh to eat. To stop a pandemic, isolate. To start one, keep billions of animals in close confinement on factory farms and in wet markets.
My life.
It did.
The fact checkers went on to confirm what the truth of the matter actually is. Humans are not superior to animals.
Bit of sarcasm there, of course. But why do you feel that your concept of superiority gives you the right to oppress others? For example, I'm sure there's plenty of guys far superior to you, physically speaking. Are you okay with them bullying you? Rather than looking for arbitrary ways in which you feel we are superior to other animals, how about we look for ways in which we're similar? How we seek love and avoid pain? How we don't want a knife jammed in our necks? Where's your basic decency, man?
In the infograph posted on Twitter, Peta suggested non-speciesist insults to use instead. They called for people to replace the word chicken with coward, rat with snitch, snake with jerk, pig with repulsive, and replace sloth with lazy. This infograph implies that while Peta is against using the names of animals to hurt people, it is not against hurting people, as it supplies an alternative list of insults for you to use to hurt people, because hurting people is still important.
The classic red herring. Yes, I'm not beyond using animals in my vocabulary just yet. See me. JP, rather than focusing on anything and everything to try and ridicule the animal rights message, how about focusing on your need to ridicule animal rights? The fact that you directly pay for people to kill animals unnecessarily when you like to think that you're a good person, causing yourself cognitive dissonance.
They kept digging the hole deeper as they called on all dictionaries to replace speciesist language in their publications. In support of their efforts to remove speciesist language from dictionaries, we had our team of researchers take to the dictionaries to find out if the word speciesist is actually in there. And it was.
See? Times change. One day we will look back in horror at how we treated living, sentient beings as commodities. People will find it hard to believe that we actually ate other animals. You seem like an intelligent guy. Why are you insisting in acting so unevolved in this one area? You have quite a sizable platform. You could be a leader for justice instead of an oppressor.
And in ironic news, Peta is issuing their attempt to eliminate animal oppressive language on Twitter, a platform that uses a bird logo to entice people to use it. And it's been discovered that Twitter does not donate any money to birds. We here at this station do not support bird appropriation.
No, you just support the suffocating, macerating, or gassing of day-old chicks who are superfluous to the egg industry, and slitting the throats of poultry so you can eat their dead bodies.
And we don't appreciate PETA so willingly using a platform that propagates bird appropriation, because it's oppressive to birds.
Hilarious.
We asked our panel of label anything you don't like as hate speech experts for a comment on the PETA controversy. They weighed in saying, being able to distinguish any difference between animals and humans is hate speech.
Do you mean to say being able to distinguish between human and non-human animals? People are so brainwashed into this superiority nonsense that they no longer even recognize that humans are a type of animal. If it helps, JP, think of us as technologically advanced hairless apes. Hairless apes that need to learn to live in harmony with the planet once more, before it's too late.
They went on to say there is no biological difference between humans and animals.
No, they didn't. If you have to make up extra bull to try to justify your animal abuse, maybe it's time to admit that you're in the wrong and do something about it. And while biologically there are differences between humans and other types of animals, there are a lot more similarities. Take, for instance, the ability to feel emotions and physical pain. How about we stick to foods that can't have an emotional reaction or scream out in agony when we humanely slaughter them?
To help you, the uneducated public, understand how animals get offended and oppressed by speciest language, we have our animal correspondent, Veda, joining us in studio.
Who you're pinning to the desk against her will.
Veda, some people don't stand up for their freedoms because they're too
secured by their front leg.
Are you okay? Are you okay to move on?
Well, at least we know why he's so disheveled now. I'm taking it the previous dog they tried to shoot this scene with wasn't as even-tempered as Vader.
For all you who are making fun of PETA, look at how much pain she's in. Oh, good girl. In concluding today's story, our team of investigative researchers have found the average IQ for a human is 100. 68 is the average IQ of a human that gets offended all the time. 10 is the average IQ for dogs. And 9 is the average IQ for a human that thinks animals get offended.
Based on that scale, I'd put those that make up about the motivation behind animal rights messages at about -50 then.
Hey there, you kind human.
Oh, I've been misinformed all these years. Apparently, it doesn't take one to know one. Now click this.
We have come in the dead of night to free every life from its fucking cage. Until the morning breaks in the dawn.